Questions that employers love to ask accountants when they go for an interview. These are usually the questions they ask. The first one, they will ask you to explain the three major financial statements. The first one is the balance sheet, which we also call the statement of financial position. They may want you to explain what it is. The second one is statement of profit or loss, another comprehensive income. That's the income statement. And the third one is the statement of cash flows. So if you are asked to explain what they do, you say the balance sheet is the statement of financial position of a firm as at a period in time. And from there, you're able to see the assets, see the liabilities, and you see the equity. And the statement of profit or loss, you have to tell them that it measures performance, not as at a period, but for a particular period, usually 1 year. Then the statement of cash flows is the statement used in differentiating between profit and cash flows. It shows the cash inflows and the cash outflows for a period. This is what they want to know. Next question they might want to ask you is to differentiate between cash basis or cash accounting and accrual accounting or accrual basis. You should be able to explain that for accrual, you only record revenue when they are earned and you record expenses when they are incurred, irrespective of when cash is paid or received. That's accrual basis. At cash basis, it is only when cash is received. You only record revenue and expenses when they are cash backed, when cash is received or when cash is paid. That's the cash basis. Then they can ask you about the accounting equation. The accounting equation simply says asset is equal to liability plus equity. You explain this, and you can make anyone the subject of the formula. If it is asset you're looking for, asset is already liability plus equity. If it's equity, then it's asset minus liability, and so on. You can just do the normal algebra. They can ask you to explain account receivables versus account payable. Let them know account receivable, that is your debtors, and account payable, that is creditors, the people you are owing. That's very important. They can ask you to explain between depreciation and amortization. I've done that in a video. So the essence is to know whether you know the difference between intangible asset and tangible asset. Depreciation is used for tangible assets, whereas amortization is used for intangible asset. And it is a systematic way. Let me explain that goodwill is not amortized, but rather is tested for impairment. So amortization is for intangibles, whereas depreciation is for tangibles. Good. Then they can ask you some behavioral skill questions like, do you work under pressure? How do you do it? How do you ensure accuracy when working under tight deadlines, such as month-end close? Or they can ask you questions like, tell me about a time you found a financial error in a report and how you handled it. Process improvement, they can ask you can you describe a time you've improved an existing accounting process or found an efficiency? And they can ask you about your communicating skills. How would you explain a complex financial issue to someone with no accounting background? And then they can ask you about software proficiency. Which accounting software are you familiar with? E.g. QuickBooks, SAP, Tally, and what is your level of expertise? Ask you what is your motivation? How did you choose a career in accounting? All these are questions. They want to know everything about you, the industry. How do you stay updated with current accounting laws and regulations like GAAP or IFRS? These are normally the questions they ask.